I'm really excited about this game between the Saints and the Buccaneers. Obviously, that week 1, we saw the Buccaneers come out and look pretty flat against the Saints, but since that game, the Saints offense has started to get better. We could see Michael Thomas back this week, although we don't know at this point. He's still kind of up in the air, and the Buccaneers offense has definitely come into their own for the most part. They've still had some hiccups here and there. So I'm expecting a much more competitive game in this one than we saw in week 1. This game is in Tampa. Another reason why we're actually seeing the Buccaneers favor to win this game by 4.5 points. I think that's a little surprising to me. The Saints, to me, have still been playing well enough that I thought this would have been a closer margin there. 50.5 over under in this game, expecting this to be a pretty high scoring offensive game, and I agree with that completely. The Saints defense has allowed the 8th most points to quarterbacks, 6th most to receivers, and 12th most to tight ends in the last 5 weeks. They have still remained a good run-stopping defense, as have the Buccaneers. So what does that mean in a game where both of these teams have running backs that are involved in the pass game? Probably nothing. Buccaneers have been very stifling on defense against quarterbacks and wide receivers as well, but Drew Brees has found a way to perform even in tough matchups like he did against the Bears last week, so I'm not really worried about anyone offensively in this game. Hey guys, quick split cut. Sorry, this is going to sound weird. If you're watching this video, you'll notice I'm going to jump back to my initial analysis. At that point, it was still looking somewhat doubtful for Michael Thomas, but we just got news right as I was working on editing this video that Michael Thomas is playing. So I updated this real quick. I'm playing Michael Thomas this week. You can't stop me. If you've been waiting this long, you got to throw him out there. And I think you can still play Sanders. This should be a good enough game in terms of scoring that I'd be willing to throw both of those guys out there. So just keep that in mind. And if you don't pay attention to this, you'll probably still comment at me, whatever. But Michael Thomas, you're playing him. You still play Emmanuel Sanders. And if you don't see Thomas on here after this point, that's because I edited this after the fact. All right, now let's get back to my initial analysis. So on the Saints side, we're playing Brees. I think he has a good start this week. He's been performing in these tough matchups, and I think this is going to be a really high-scoring shootout kind of game. I want Brees in that matchup. We're playing Kamara. Even though the Bucs have been tough against running backs, he's getting so many targets, you're never benching him. Now, the real question is, do we see Michael Thomas back? If Michael Thomas is back, I'm probably not going to play Emmanuel Sanders. I'd probably play Thomas over him. But if Thomas is out, I think Emmanuel Sanders ends up a pretty solid start this week. And Jared Cook. We're playing Jared Cook every week because he still seems to be the favorite target for Drew Brees in the end zone. Outside of that, I'm not really excited about Deontay Harris or Traquan Smith. Not playing the defense here. And Latavius Murray is my biggest bench of the week. He hasn't really done much for you in the past couple weeks, and especially against a strong run defense. He's not involved in the passing game, so I don't expect much out of Murray here, so I wouldn't be playing Latavius Murray. On the Bucs side, we're playing Brady. I think he can play Fournette because he's involved in the passing game. It could be a tough game for him on the ground, but he has seemed to finally start to take that rollover from Ronald Jones. Could still be a close to 50-50 split, but Fournette is definitely more involved in the passing game, so I think if there's any running back you're going to play here, it's Fournette. Now, the real question will be, who can you trust in this passing game? Well, in this game where I'm expecting there to be a ton of points scored, I think you can play Evans. I'm playing Antonio Brown. You can't stop me. Even if he only has 20 plays, I think he's still going to have a good fantasy day. From all reports, he still looks like Antonio Brown. Tom Brady clearly wanted him here, and I think he's going to favor him when he's on the field. So if we're benching any receiver this week, I would be hesitant to play Chris Godwin. Dealing with a hand injury, that's not something that you're going to want to continue throwing him the same amount of targets that he's seen. He hasn't really practiced all week. I think he'll end up playing this week, but I think if there's going to be anyone that's limited, it could be Godwin. So if I'm going to pick a receiver to stay away from in this particular matchup, it would be Godwin. But watch him end up outperforming, and Evans gets you a goose. Who knows? But if I'm playing two receivers here, I'm playing Evans and Brown. Got to keep playing Gronk. And even though I think the Saints are going to score a lot of points, I think the Bucs defense is strong enough to play regardless of matchup at this point. Not the greatest start, but still definitely a top 12 play. So in terms of how I think this game will go, though, I actually have the Saints eking this one out in the end. I think the Saints win this one 34-31. Should be a fun game regardless.